Okay, Ak earlier said, hey, Fu, a streamer I watched talked about parasocial relationships. Yeah, the one-sided to a media person. Those are very interesting. I was just wondering how you were doing with that and your own thoughts on them. One of the first things I'll say about that that's interesting to me is that I am on both sides of that. I both have a community that interacts with me, or I take in content of people who are a larger audience than me, let's say. Like Markiplier is a good example. And I've consumed enough of the content, of his content, to be like, I feel like I know him decently well, or like Jenna Marbles or something, right? But that's based on what they've decided to show. I feel like I have perspective being on one side of it, so when I look at the other side of it, I can like understand the feeling and I can like react to it better, maybe. Helps me like humanize people, and I think a lot of people don't consider that. It's just like how human we all are, and how they need to like factor that into anybody that they're watching, any content that they're consuming about with people is the main focus, right? Because taking your time to get to know other content creators at various sizes around you, it's very helpful, but not everybody has the chance to do that. So like, she did mention lingering hugs is something not good. I would agree with that. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, it's hard when you feel like you know someone so well to get the perspective of like, oh, they don't know me that well, so our relationship isn't as intimate as I think it is or want it to be. It's kind of a strange rift. Like, it is kind of one-sided, but not necessarily, because we're gonna know each other at different levels. But you have to have boundaries for your health and protection. Yes, absolutely. That's why I keep most of my DMs closed, because it's like, it's not like I'm like, you guys, I'm walling you off from my life. It's more of like choices for my own mental well-being and health. You never know who, if you have DMs open, can decide to message you, and then maybe they're trying to take advantage of you, or they're gonna be creepy or whatever. And at the same time, there are people who can have like the best of intentions, but get too reliant on you. And then you're like, well, we still don't have that relationship. Like, even with a DM open, it doesn't mean that we're automatically like super duper close. Yeah, you can't talk one-on-one with everyone. You just can't do it. It would take more than one of your days to try to keep up with everybody, and it's not healthy. And you know, there's only so many people that our brain can handle to be close with, to be actually close with. What are so many clips out of your boundaries? Look, then you have to reset the run, because this is a glitchless run, Andy. Boundaries are important. Yeah, absolutely. And so like, while I love to be able to, let's say like our interactions, right? Me and you all. So it's not like I'm like, I don't want to get to know you all. I can't talk with you ever one-on-one. It's not like that. It's just like I know what my limits are and aren't, and I don't want to allow people who are not going to treat me well in. And so I just have to be careful. It's complicated, because boundaries for different people are going to be at different amounts. And that includes not only people taking in content from someone, but the person who is putting the content out. So like, my boundaries on how I interact with you all are going to be different than like Bird, or different than like Markiplier, or just somebody starting out. They're like, oh yeah, anybody can DM me. Like, I've had closed DMs almost since I started streaming, because I was like, I'm a girl on the internet and I just want to be safe. So it's been like that for so long that I feel like I've been able to, I guess, shelter myself in a way that's healthier. You know, I feel less threatened, or I feel like less uncomfortable in a lot of situations. And even with this instance, I've still ended up in situations where people have treated me poorly after letting someone in. And that just happens in relationships sometimes, you know? Like, you're like, okay, I'll let you in as a friend. And then suddenly you kind of like get shafted at the end of the day. But then on the internet, especially when you have like a following, a community, you know, and somebody decides to be like, well, I didn't get what I want, so now I'm gonna be negative about you. And then suddenly you can, it's a bummer. I mean, a lot of people don't consider, they don't know the term, they don't consider that. Like, you know, people often just consume content and they're like, yeah, I know this person really well. It's also something that you're like, I know this person well enough where I know how I would treat them as a friend, and I really feel like we have things in common. We could be friends. And I get it. I totally get it, because I feel the same way with other people that I watch, you know, that I'm not close with. I get it. This sounds harsh, but like, you're a person and you're entitled to talk to who you do or don't want to interact with. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, you just never know. You just never know the kind of interaction you're gonna have with somebody. That's why I'm slow to mod people. That's why I'm slow to let anybody DM me. A lot of me getting to know people and other streamers is based on positive interactions I've seen with them through other people that I trust. And you know, that takes a while sometimes. So it's not like if you have a stream that I just don't want to watch it or check it out, you know, I'm more likely, like a lot of people are, it's basically like, oh, they've gotten a lot of good reviews. I got a really good recommendation from a friend. Like, there's a lot of that can come into play, because it's hard to sift through so much content or get to know so many people. So having good recommendations, it's just trying to be a person, but also having a following is interesting. And I'm not nearly as big as so many other people, right? I think Twitch can be healthier to a point just because direct interaction occurs more often. Yeah, for smaller communities. Yes, absolutely. You boo. Anonymity that the internet offers can make it that much more dangerous in some instances. Yeah, for sure. I hope Twitch is a healthier platform than something like YouTube for dealing with overly close parasocial relationship issues, since many communities are far more healthy. Yeah, again, there's more of a direct interaction. So like, I do feel like I have gotten to know a good, large number of you all, you know, better because it's not just a comment on something. Like, we're actually having a back and forth. And so while it's not an instance of like, oh my God, let's like hang out and be best friends, I don't have the ability to get to know you all like that. But at the same time, part of why I stream is because I feel so fortunate and I guess blessed, you could say blessed, to like be able to have these interactions with you all, right? Button 1, Kung Fu Streamer should be more popular. Button 2, Kung Fu's chat should be cozy. Oh, small and cozy. I know, right? I've had that happen too. I've totally had that happen. Old mods, old viewers, people who were like, oh, Kung Fu's chat got too big. She's like, it's like not fun in there anymore. I can't do what I want in there anymore. And it's like, I mean, all right. See you later. I'm still gonna try to have the best interaction I can with you all. And sometimes that means I get into a game and I want to provide good content. So like, it's just a balance of like how to provide good content and then also how to make everybody feel welcome and then feel like I can get to know you and you can get to know me. But then also there's gonna be this weird boundary of like, you're seeing me and hearing me and you get to know me a lot. And then I hear things about you all, but it's like this, there's a divide and it's I don't know. I think that's a good end of sentence. Anyway, interaction between other people in chat is also important. Yes. And so I've noticed very interesting instances where, of course, since you're coming in to watch my content, I know you all want to chat with me in some ways, or at least just like be involved somehow. And there are a lot of you who lurk, and that's great. You know what? Do you? I lurk all the time in people's chats. I'm lurking in Bird's chat right now. If I had a better multi-Twitch thing again, I would be in more chats. The fact that I can sit back and play a game sometimes and you all are just having a conversation on the side, like you're doing you, or you're commenting on the game, but you're not like, hey, Fu, guys, hey, Fu, can you talk to me? Fu, pay attention to me. Pay attention. Streamer. It's great that doesn't happen. And you can tell the times when people come in and you're like, okay. You know what they want? All they want to do is talk to me. I want to have a place where you can all interact and be with each other and support each other and all this stuff. What I was trying to say earlier is I've seen chats where it's not quite the same. I've seen chats where they're like, streamer, talk to me. Hey, streamer. And they just like don't talk to each other. And it's kind of weirds me out. I'm like, ooh, that must just feel so awkward. So maybe some people want the attention like that to the extent where they don't care. That's fine. If that's the life you want to live, just be careful. You don't think they're bad in and of themselves. The problem arises when you think they're replacements for actual relationships and interactions. Yes, yeah, for sure. And when people try to take advantage of it to be like, I know them. I know this person, so we can clearly be friends. When it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. That's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. You know, as much as I'd love to be like, everybody go to Disney World. I mean, maybe one day we can do that for like a day. Everybody just come to Disney World. I'd love to just like meet with you all. And, you know, that's why I encourage people to go to GDQs and stuff. I love to get the chance to meet people in person, right? But it's like, you know, as much as I'd love to be like a whole day at Disney with the whole fruit basket, it's also not like, okay, everybody come with me for an entire week because I can't handle that mentally. Also, Disney is very personal for me. It's a very personal experience for me. And I'm like, I'm gonna have fun, damn it! Nobody ruin it! Because I've had people join us in the past and they've brought the mood down more than once. And I'm like, cool, I can't do that anymore. Besides you, Kung Fu, I love it when people are here to say hi to me or ask me how I'm doing. Right? Isn't that great? I love when you guys all just talk. You can just talk to each other. You don't really have to talk to me. Just hang out with each other.